Have you ever considered that the wealthiest place on the planet is not the oil fields of the Middle East or the diamond mines of Africa? The most valuable real estate in the world is the cemetery. Buried beneath the soil are businesses that were never started, books that were never written, songs that were never sung, and inventions that were never created. It is a graveyard of untapped potential, a resting place for dreams that died with their dreamers. I came here to ask one question. What will you do with the treasure that is inside of you? Have you ever looked at the world around you and felt a deep, unsettling sense that something is fundamentally out of place? You see chaos, you see disorder, you see people living far below their capabilities, and you ask yourself, is this all there is? Is this the grand design? I want to submit to you today that what you are feeling is not confusion, it is a memory. It is the echo of your original purpose, a purpose that was given to you before the foundations of the world were laid. You were not created to be a victim of your circumstances. You were not designed to be a slave to your environment. You were created to lead. The manufacturer's original intent for any product is the key to its proper function. If you try to use a toaster to wash your clothes, you will only end up with burnt laundry and a broken appliance. In the same way, when you don't understand your original design, you will live a life of frustration and dysfunction. The original design for humanity was leadership. You were given awaken, not suggestion, not a request, but a mandate. A command to govern, to manage, to rule, and to take responsibility for your world. This is not about arrogance, it is about ligment. You were born to be in charge. The question is, in charge of what? You must first be in charge of where you. The greatest empire you will ever build is the empire of your own soul. The most significant territory you will ever govern is the 400 grams of your own mind. You see, the world is waiting for your gift, but your gift is trapped behind your fears, trapped behind your procrastination, trapped behind your poor habits. You cannot lead a nation if you cannot lead your own appetites. You cannot manage a corporation if you cannot manage your own character. The leader within you is crying out for expression, but it cannot emerge until you first establish sovereignty over your own life. Are you governing your thoughts, or are your thoughts governing you? Are you commanding your emotions, or are you a slave to every feeling that passes through you? Leadership begins in the mirror. This dominion mandate is not about controlling other people. It is about controlling the resources that have been placed within your jurisdiction. It is about taking the raw material of your potential and transforming it into a finished product of excellence. You were given a mind to create, hands to build, and a spirit to inspire. You are a walking, talking solution to a problem in the world. But a solution that is never applied is useless. Your greatness is not a suggestion, it is a responsibility. You have been given authority over your life, and with that authority comes the expectation of results. The world does not celebrate your potential, it rewards your performance. It's time to stop asking for permission to be great. It is time to activate the mandate that is already written in your spiritual DNA. So how do you begin? How do you move from this powerful idea to practical application? It starts by confronting the single greatest enemy to your dominion, the one thing that has kept more potential locked away than any prison on earth. It is the silent killer of dreams, the architect of mediocrity, and the reason the graveyard is so wealthy. And that is the power of an excuse. We just talked about your mandate to lead, your inherent authority, to take dominion over your life. But I see the question in your eyes. It's the same question that haunts the minds of millions. If I was born to be great, why am I living so small? If I have all this potential, why is my life so average? The answer is simple, yet profound. It is because you have become a master architect of a graveyard, a personal cemetery where you have systematically buried every great idea, every powerful dream, and every divine instruction you have ever received. And the name on every single tombstone is EXCUS. An excuse is the most sophisticated self-deception mechanism known to man. It is a well-dressed lie. It is the tool of the timid, the crutch of the complacent, and the anthem of the average. You say, I'm too old, or I'm too young. You say, I don't have the money, or I don't have the education. You blame your parents, you blame your government, you blame your skin color, you blame your boss. You have a reason for every failure, an explanation for every inaction. Let me ask you a question. What has your favorite excuse ever produced for you? Has it paid your bills? Has it healed your relationships? Has it fulfilled your purpose? Now, the only thing an excuse produces is a tombstone for your potential. You must understand that an excuse is more than just words. It is a declaration of impotence. When you make an excuse, you are officially transferring responsibility for your life to someone or something else. You are saying, I am not in control. My circumstances are more powerful than my convictions. My past is more important than my future. You are willingly surrendering your dominion mandate. You are trading your crown for a cage. The tragedy is that the cage is not even locked. You simply refuse to walk out. You have become comfortable in your prison of justification. It is predictable, it is safe, and it is a graveyard. Today, I am calling you to become a gravedigger. It is time to hold a funeral. You need to identify every single excuse that has held you hostage, write it down, and then ceremoniously be your wife. Bury, I'm not good enough. Bury, it's not the right time. Bury, what will people think? Bury, I'm afraid to fail. You must kill them before they kill you. You see, greatness and excuses cannot coexist in the same mind. You must choose one. Every morning you wake up, you make a choice. Will you feed your faith, or will you feed your fears? Will you build your future, or will you rehearse your past? The leader within you is waiting for you to clear the land. You cannot build a palace on top of a graveyard. You must first exhume the bodies of your dead excuses and declare that ground hollow. It is the construction site for your destiny. Once you have buried your excuses, you have cleared the way for something powerful to be built. You have created a vacuum, but a vacuum will not stay empty for long. You have removed the negative, but what will you replace it with? You have stopped making justifications for who you are not, so now the most important question you will ever face arises. Who, then, are you? And the answer to that question is the key that transforms your potential into power. So, you have taken dominion over your mind, and you have buried the excuses that once held you captive. The graveyard is now empty. The ground has been cleared, but a vacant lot produces nothing. It is simply empty space. The most dangerous state to be in is not the state of making excuses. It is the state of having no excuses, but still no direction. You have confronted who you are now. Now, we must answer the most critical question of your existence. Who, then, can you be? This is the journey from potential to power. Potential is one of the most powerful, yet most misunderstood concepts in the universe. Your potential is everything you can be, but have not yet become. It is every song you can sing, but have not yet sung. It is every book you can write, but have not yet written. It is dormant ability. It is untapped strength. It is unused success. You are pregnant with a future that is greater than your past. The problem is, you have been living your life based on your history, not your destiny. You have been defining yourself by your experiences instead of by your potential. You look at your bank account and you say, I am poor. No, you may have poverty, but you have potential. You look at your past failures and you say, I am a failure. No, you may have X, B, and CD failure, but you have potential. You must make a critical distinction between your C's and your or. What you see in the mirror right now that is simply your E's is a temporary fact. It is your current condition, but it is not your ultimate conclusion. Your R is your true self, the person your Creator designed you to be. It is the leader, the innovator, the healer, the builder that is locked inside of you. Power is released when you stop focusing on who you are now and start focusing on who you were created to be. You must become a man or a woman of the future, living in the present. You must let your potential dictate your actions. How is this done? You must understand that potential by itself is worthless. An apple seed has the potential to become an orchard, but if it remains in the packet, it is just a seed. It is useless. Potential requires a demand. It requires pressure. It requires work. Your power does not flow from your comfort zone. Your power is released in the place of challenge. When you demand more from yourself than anyone else ever could, you force your potential to manifest. You must put your potential under pressure. Sign up for the class. Start the business. Write the first page. Make the phone call. The journey from potential to power is paved with a citoyen. It is the decision to act on what you will be, instead of reacting to what you currently are. So you have the mandate to lead, you have buried your excuses, and you have committed to living out of your potential. You are ready to transform what is dormant into something dynamic. But this transformation cannot happen in a vacuum. It requires a specific, non-negotiable ingredient. It is the one thing that gives direction to your power, focus to your energy, and meaning to your action. Without it, your potential will remain a scattered, unfocused mist. But with it, you become an unstoppable force. It is the very thing that allows you to see the end from the beginning. We have established that you are to live out of your potential, not your past. You are ready to put a demand on the greatness within you. But let me ask you a question. When does your day truly begin? Does it begin when the alarm clock screams at you and you stumble out of bed to react to the world's demands? Does it begin when you open your email and let other people's priorities dictate your agenda? If that is how you start your day, you have already lost. You have surrendered your leadership before the battle has even begun. The successful do not react to the day, they command it. And that command begins in the morning. Your morning is the rudder of your day, a small, seemingly insignificant part of a massive ship, yet it determines the direction of the entire vessel. How you spend the first hour of your day will determine the quality of the next 23. You cannot win the day if you lose the morning. You cannot build an empire if you cannot manage your own sunrise. Most people wake up and immediately plug into the world's chaos. The news, social media, the problems of yesterday, they fill their minds with garbage before they have even had a chance to fill it with purpose. They are being governed by their environment instead of governing their own lives. To govern your morning is to declare your independence. It is an act of personal sovereignty. It is to say to the world, wait. Before I give you my energy, my attention, and my time, I must first commune with my Creator and consult with my own vision. Your first appointment of the day must be with your destiny. This is not about a legalistic ritual. It is about a leadership principle. The principle of fiasti tiejas fiasti. Before you talk to anyone else, talk to the one who made you. Before you read the world's news, read the blueprint for your life. Before you respond to the demands of others, you must first receive your own commands for the day. What is the priority? What is the one thing that, if accomplished, will move you closer to your ordained future? This is where you plan your work and work your plan. The morning is your strategic command center. It is where you look at the map of your vision and decide on the day's maneuvers. You don't just hope for a productive day, you decide one. You command your mind to focus. You command your body to be energized. You command your spirit to be aligned with your purpose. You are setting the tone. You are establishing the atmosphere. You are telling your day how IT will serve you, not the other way around. Are you the master of your morning, or are you its slave? The answer to that question will determine whether you live a life of intention or a life of reaction. When you govern your morning, you are not just planning a day, you are building a life. Each commanded morning is a brick, laid with precision, upon the foundation of your purpose. Day by day, brick by brick, you construct the edifice of your destiny. This daily discipline of governing your morning is the ultimate expression of personal leadership. It is the practical application of your dominion mandate. It is where potential begins its transformation into power. But this act of governing yourself, of commanding your day, is rooted in a much deeper, more fundamental principle. It is a principle that separates the king from the commoner, the leader from the follower. It is the very foundation of self-government and the source of all true authority. It is the principle of personal sovereignty. We have spoken about commanding your day, but that is merely an action. Now, we must discuss the source of the authority that gives you the right to take command. You cannot command what you do not own. You cannot lead where you have no jurisdiction. The reason you can govern your morning, the reason you can bury your excuses, the reason you can demand more from your potential is because you were created as a sovereign entity. This is the principle of personal sovereignty. It is the understanding that you are a king. Now, when I say you are a king, do not misunderstand me. This is not about arrogance or ego or dominating other people. A true king is not a tyrant. A true king is a manager, a cultivator, a responsible governor of a specific territory. And your primary territory is you. Your mind, your will, your emotions, your body, your time, your gifts. This is your kingdom. You were born with a crown on your head and a scepter in your hand. The problem is most of you have abdicated your throne. You have given your crown to your boss, your scepter to your spouse, the keys to your kingdom to your feelings, and the deed to your land to your past. You are a king living like a pauper in your own palace. Personal sovereignty is the act of reclaiming your throne. It is the conscious decision to take back the authority over your own life. No one can make you angry without your permission. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. No circumstance can defeat you without your cooperation. You see, nothing has power over you that you do not give power to. You are the supreme authority in the territory of your life. When you understand this, you stop being a victim. A king cannot be a victim. A king takes responsibility. A king does not blame the weather for a poor harvest. A king studies irrigation and plans better. A king does not blame his enemies for his weakness. A king builds up his own strength. Are you living like a sovereign or a slave? A slave waits to be told what to do. A sovereign consults the vision within and gives himself commands. A slave complains about his resources. A sovereign takes the resources he has and creates what he needs. A slave is controlled by his appetites. A sovereign disciplines his appetites to serve his purpose. This principle is the foundation of all success. You cannot succeed by accident. Success is an act of governance. It is the result of a sovereign mind imposing its will on a chaotic world to create order, value, and progress. Your success is not up to the economy or the government or your family. Your success is up to you. You are the king. So you must reclaim your authority. You must sit back down on the throne of your own life and pick up your scepter. This is the essence of maturity. It is the end of blaming and the beginning of building. It is the moment you realize that the help you are looking for is in your own hands. You are the ruler you have been waiting for. But a king cannot rule without a plan. A kingdom cannot prosper without a blueprint. A sovereign without a clear picture of the future he is building is just a man in a fancy chair going nowhere. Authority is useless without direction. And that direction, that blueprint, that picture of a preferred future has a name. It is the fuel of all achievement and the engine of all progress. It is the one thing that makes a king a king. We have established your sovereignty. You have reclaimed your throne and taken back the scepter of your own life. You are a king in charge of your own kingdom. But let me ask you a question that every leader must answer. A king of what? A ruler over where? Authority without a destination is just potential energy. It accomplishes nothing. A car with a full tank of gas and a powerful engine is useless if the driver has no place to go. It will just sit in the driveway making noise. The ingredient that gives your power a purpose and your authority a direction is vision. Vision is the most powerful force in the universe. It is the ability to see the future in the present. It is the art of seeing what is not yet as though it already is. Vision is not the same as sight. Sight is a function of your eyes. Vision is a function of your heart. Sight sees your current circumstances. Vision sees your ultimate destination. Sight sees the obstacles. Vision sees the outcome. Sight is limited to the natural. Vision operates in the realm of the supernatural. Where there is no vision, the people perish, not because they have no food or no money or no opportunity, but because they have no rieso to live beyond their present moment. They have nothing pulling them forward. Your vision is the blueprint for your kingdom. It is the detailed architectural drawing of the life you were created to build. It is the source of all your motivation. Why would you govern your morning? Because of the vision. Why would you bury your excuses? Because of the vision. Why would you put a demand on your potential? Because of the vision. Vision is the fuel that makes you unstoppable. When your vision is clear, your decisions become easy. You no longer have to debate whether to watch television or work on your business plan. The vision makes the choice for you. You no longer have to struggle with waking up early. The vision pulls you out of bed. Let me be clear. Vision is not a wish. It is not a vague hope. It is a clear, precise, detailed picture of a preferred future. You must see it. You must feel it. You must be able to describe it to a blind man and make him see it. What does your successful life look like? How does it feel? What are you doing? Who are you with? What impact are you having? If you cannot answer these questions with clarity, you do not have a vision, you have a daydream. A daydream is a pleasant escape from reality. A vision is a force that congests reality. It is the cause of all great achievement. Every bridge, every skyscraper, every corporation, every nation started as a vision in the mind of a single individual. So you are a king on your throne with authority. But if you have no vision, you are a king of nothing ruling over nowhere. You are simply occupying a position. True leadership is not about position. It is about disposition. It is about being so possessed by a picture of the future that you make it your present obsession. This vision becomes the law of your life. It dictates your associations. It manages your money. It governs your time. It is the fire that purges mediocrity from your life. But having this powerful vision, this fuel for an unstoppable force, places a new and profound weight upon you. It is no longer just an opportunity. It becomes an obligation. Because to be given a vision of what you can do and what you can become, and then to do nothing with it, is the greatest tragedy of all. It is a moral failure. You have reclaimed your throne of sovereignty, and you have been given the divine gift of vision. You can now see the end from the beginning. You have a clear picture of the future that is pulling you forward. But I must warn you, with great vision comes great responsibility. To see what is possible is to become accountable for making it a reality. This brings us to one of the most sobering and most motivating principles for a successful life. It is the concept that you have a moral obligation to DIEMPTY. What do I mean by this? I mean that you were created to be a conduit, not a container. You were designed to be a river, not a reservoir. Everything you have, your gifts, your talents, your ideas, your wisdom, your experiences, was given to you on consignment. It was loaned to you with the expectation that you would deliver it to the world that needs it. Your life is a delivery service for the treasures that your Creator deposited within you. To die with that treasure still inside you is to have failed your assignment. It is to rob the world of the solution you were born to provide. It is the ultimate act of theft. The graveyard, as I have said, is the wealthiest place on earth. It is filled with the undelivered gifts of men and women who were too afraid, too distracted, or too comfortable to fulfill their purpose. They were reservoirs that never became rivers. They were containers that were buried, still sealed. They died full, full of books that were never written, full of businesses that were never launched, full of cures that were never discovered, full of leadership that was never expressed. They took their potential with them to the grave, and the world is poorer for it. You have a moral obligation to your generation and to the generations that will follow to pour out everything that is in you. This is not a suggestion, it is a sacred duty. It is the rent you pay for your space on this planet. Every day that you wake up with your gift still inside you is another opportunity to make a deposit into the bank of humanity. You must not go to your grave with your music still in you. You must not allow the cemetery to be your final publisher. Your purpose is to arrive at the end of your life skidding in sideways, totally exhausted, bruised, and battered, but able to scream to your Creator, This mindset changes everything. It eliminates procrastination. You no longer have time to waste because you have a delivery to make. It eliminates the fear of failure. The only true failure is the failure to try. It is better to try and fail than to succeed at doing nothing of significance. When you are committed to dying empty, you become a person of URGNCY. You understand that your time is finite, but your assignment is critical. You stop preserving yourself for a future that may never come, and you start pouring yourself out today. You are not a museum piece to be preserved. You are a tool to be used until you are worn out. This commitment to dying empty, to releasing your greatness, requires a certain quality of work. It demands that you operate by a standard that is far above the norm. You cannot deliver a world-changing gift with mediocre effort. You cannot fulfill a divine mandate with average performance. To truly empty yourself of your potential, you must adopt a spirit that refuses to settle for good enough. And that is the spirit of excellence.